Howdy folks, it's Richie aka Otter, and today I'd like to do a guide for the meta event chain called Kralkatorrik's Legacy, which will actually lead to the event where you kill the Shatterer. Now, this is located in the Blazeridge Steppes. It's a level 40 to 50 zone. Alright, and it's actually located in the northwest corner of the map. Okay, you'll see it here. This is the Lowlands Burns waypoint, so that's where it's located. And this event has a possibility of being spawned every 3 hours. You'll see the meta event chain text on the top right-hand corner of my screen. It says Kralkatorrik's Legacy. It says Vigil and Sentinel forces are working to contain the threats posed by Kralkatorrik's minions. So keep your eye on that text on the corner. When it says what I just read to you, you can't actually do anything to summon the Shatterer. But once it changes to what it says now, the assault is being planned. Now you get two events that take place. And when the players actually complete these two events, then the Shatterer will actually spawn. So this first one here, heavily armored soldiers are marching towards the Vigil forward camp while the Vigil collects resources for siege weaponry. So if you go over here, to where I just showed on the map, you can see this group of sentinels that you basically have to do an escort, dynamic event for. It's not too difficult. You just stay with them. They have very large guns, as you can see. They're much bigger than the Char. And you will just escort these guys into the camp, which is located right next to the Lowlands Burns waypoint, which I showed you before. Okay, so once that text in the top right changes and these events start taking place, come help out and try to get these things done quicker. I find a lot of people in this zone will actually hang out near the waypoint and just wait for other players to do the work for you. And it's a little bit silly for a couple reasons. One, because you're going to wait longer because you're not helping. And two, you can actually get some quick experience points and karma and stuff like that just by doing these two events back to back, while you're waiting for the Shatterer. You will see tons of people calling out in the zone how long until the dragon's up, and it's at the 3-hour time period before this event can be spawned. I have mixed feelings about it being on a set timer. On the one hand, it's kind of cool to kind of know when it's going to happen and stuff like that, but on the other hand, it kind of makes this scheduled type thing where players are looking out for it, and you'll hear people say, 45 minutes till dragon and stuff, and it's just kind of weird in a way to have exact time frames for these type of things. All right, the Sentinels here actually have some flavor text that they say while they're marching. You can listen to what they say while you're doing this mission. It's kind of interesting. And the other interesting thing is the Shatterer himself is actually a rank given to the champion of Kralkatorrik. So the Shatterer is not a single dragon, so that kind of makes sense why you can keep beating him. It's actually just a rank. And the lieutenant or the champion of Kralkatorrik is actually promoted to the rank of Shatterer. So I guess every 3 hours they choose a new one and you can kill them. Alright, so there goes the first event is complete. So we're just escorting them to the camp here. And now you can see the next event is over here by the Shattered Palisades. And I'm actually going to use a waypoint to get there a little bit quicker. It's over to the east a bit. And we'll use the speed boost to go over here. Now, what we're going to be doing for this piece is we're going to be collecting like salvaged siege weapon parts. All right, so the siege weapon pieces, you can collect them off of ghosts that are in this area, as you'll see here. You search the ghosts up. There's a siege weapon piece right there, and you can also just find them littered around the ground in this whole area that's circled. So you can turn them in right here, and it's just like a typical dynamic event where you're collecting stuff. All right, so there I got another one. All right, we'll turn this in, and then you wait the 1 minute, and then that event will end, and then we will be running back to the camp so that we can start the assault. So it doesn't take too long once those events start. I would say probably it takes about 10 to 15 minutes depending on how many players are helping. Just keep your eye on the Kralkatorrik's Legacy meta event text on the top right while you're going through this zone, and you can be prepared for when the Shatterer spawns. All right, so now here we are. We're waiting for the escort to get here. And you'll notice the text changes. And it says ominous winds are blowing. And that's how you know that the Shatterer, is imminent. All right, watch this entrance.
It's down.
Oh boy.
Go, go, go.
All right, let's talk about the mechanics of the Shatterer himself. All right, you'll see I'm starting off on this spark here. The ads around the area, you want to clear those out because they can cause problems while you're fighting the Shatterer, of course. But here's the first mechanic. This is the Crystal Prison. He will periodically put people in a prison. It takes one shot from somebody to free you. If you're not freed or you don't free other people, you get, basically take a lot of damage. A lot of times it just knocks you down flat out. So look out for that to free people. All right, the next ability he's going to do is a Fiery Breath. There he is right there. He shoots out pink flame. It mostly affects the people that are kind of near where the siege weaponry is, but you don't stand in the fire. Pretty typical stuff for MMO players. And then periodically he will jump up in the air like this, and he'll shoot crystals down that form little red circles on the ground. Do not stand in the little red circles. You can see one right there. After the crystal lands, it will spawn a bunch of ads. Make it your priority to take out these ads. There's going to be branded rock dogs and branded devourers who do bleed effects. These are the most dangerous parts of the fight. The ads, if you let them get out of control, they will swarm you and overrun you.
Here comes the ground shake.
All right, if you don't have a lot of players contributing to the event, this can be very difficult because the number of ads are huge and you will find yourself basically facing the ads most of the time. All right, periodically he's going to put these pulsing crystal nodes up. All right, he's healing right now while these are up, and you cannot damage the Shatterer. You have to take out these crystals to limit the amount of healing he receives. The more crystals you take down and the faster you take them down, the better. You can see I don't have a lot of players here helping with this event this time, so he's healing a ton, and it's taking forever to get these crystals down. Those crystals will go down pretty quickly if you have a lot of players. Alright, he's also going to periodically put down a crystal spike wall. You'll see it running left to right here in a second, right there. You don't want to be standing in the path of that. It hurts. One of the other creatures he summons is a veteran branded lieutenant. Okay, these look like little mini dragons. They're pretty tough. You want to make sure players are focusing on them down so they don't overrun and destroy people. Alright, I do recommend a ranged weapon for a lot of this. But if you don't have one and you're finding it hard to be in melee, mostly because it's hard to see when you're up that close, you can come back here and jump in a mortar. And you can see right now, the longer I hold down number 2, the further I'm going to shoot. This is great. You can actually hurt the Shatterer and you can hurt the ads. Help clean that out. You can also jump in this cannon, this turret over here. Alright, it's got 2 abilities, Bombard and Shrapnel Shell. Alright, you can hurt the ads or the Shatterer himself. He will periodically throw like ads up here that you will have to fight. You'll have to get out of the siege weaponry and actually fight them. You got to watch out for that fire. So it's just another interesting twist on the fight. This is one of the coolest looking bosses I've ever fought in any game. It's just really, really impressive. Fun fight. Alright, and if you persevere and actually take him out, you will actually see one of the coolest death animations as well. You can see here he's about to go down. Oh yeah. Okay, so you also get a big chest of goodies. Alright, you get a nice selection. I think this time I actually don't get too much. I'm going to make some room in my inventory. But you can get rare items. You can get some of those gold rare items. You get some greens. You can see there I got, what, 3, 6, something like 6 or 7 pieces of gear. Or some gems and stuff like that. It's definitely worthwhile getting this, especially if you're in, the level 40 to 55 range in terms of your level. You're going to find some nice stuff. Okay, well that's going to wrap things up here. I hope you enjoyed the Kralkatorrik's Legacy Guide, which leads to the Shatterer. If you want to see footage of the entire Shatterer fight that's the uncut, I have another video on my channel which gives my raw reaction to the first time I fought him. You can check that out. If you enjoyed this video, please like and favorite and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can be notified when future videos are released, and feel free to ask me any questions or make comments in the comments field below. Thanks everybody, and have a great day.